It is time now for all thing California politics. Joining me now, Steve Swatt, author and political analyst. Steve, you got 4 books out, right?
Yes.
Where did you have the time to write these books?
You make the time. I was in semi-retirement.
Okay.
I had some help. My wife, who spent 35 years at the Capitol, helped me with the book, and also 2 other former journalists. And so we sort of put these books together. It was a lot of fun.
Leland Stanford was governor of California, well known.
Yes.
Obviously, Stanford University, Stanford home, many things that are Stanford. You're not a big fan of his. You're saying he was a grifter, and maybe some things that people don't know about Leland Stanford.
Well, let me prove it.
Okay.
So he is the president of the Central Pacific Railroad.
Yes.
When he runs for governor, he wins the governorship in 1861. He keeps his job, and so that's a conflict of interest, obviously. He pushes through 7 pieces of legislation through the legislature that he signs that put money into the coffers of the railroad. He appoints his company's lawyer to the state Supreme Court.
Where'd you find all this stuff?
Bancroft Library in Berkeley, various libraries.
Do you think this is common knowledge that Leland Stanford wasn't necessarily a good dude?
Well, it should be, and it gets worse after that because the railroad becomes a huge monopoly.
Right.
And then the monopoly basically controls all commerce and trade in California, jacks up the rates. They have legislators on the payroll, they have judges on the payroll, that creates basically a reform movement backlash.
Wow. My dad was a state senator in Rhode Island, involved in politics for many years. And I remember having a conversation with Dad. I said, in the scheme of it, of the people that you've served with, how many people, the percentage-wise, are for the greater good? He said 85% of people who were in politics, he felt, were in it for the right reasons. In your experience, reporting and writing books, what's your take?
Well, I think he's close. I'm not sure about the 15% who were in it for the wrong reasons necessarily. That would mean 18 out of the 120 state legislators are crooks, I guess.
He said, well, 85 good, 10%, he said 5% he thought were dirty.
Right.
Okay, is 5% like in it for just the personal gain, the money?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
It's all about money, first of all.
Okay.
And what happens is, I think people get elected. They're idealistic. They want to do things. Then they get into office, and what's their first job? They want to get reelected.
Right.
So they need campaign money.
Right.
Campaigns are getting much more expensive, especially with technology changing. And so there's that temptation to get campaign money anywhere you can get it. And special interests will then come to you and say, I will give you some campaign money, but you have to give me a vote.
Quid
and that's when you get
pro
in trouble.
quo. So many of us, Steve, look at political history as a series of random events. Can you put them in historical context?
You should put them in historical context. Because what is so interesting, they are not random one-off events. There's a cause and effect. We were talking about Leland Stanford.
Yeah.
So what happens is that, you know, he starts his railroad. He basically gets money from the legislature. And it causes a backlash reform movement. The progressives win in 1910. Hiram Johnson becomes governor. They put on the ballot not only reform of regulation of the railroads, but citizen democracy, which is the initiative and the recall and the referendum. And we are living with that today. And so the sort of cherished citizen democracy that we love so much today, you can trace back to Leland Stanford in 1861.
Where can we find your books, the 4 of them?
Amazon, of course.
Amazon, of course.
They control everything.
They do. Okay, Steve, appreciate you brought a couple for me to read, and I'll get back to you with my book report. All right.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you. Steve Swatt.